Hey guys, I'm Sam, and today I'm going to show you portable GUI menu commands in vanilla Minecraft. So, if you've ever been on a multiplayer server, specifically like minigame servers, they usually have an item in your inventory and when you right click it, it brings up a GUI with a bunch of different icons that you can use to like warp to different places, or like play different mini games or execute different commands. So I've tried my best to recreate that in vanilla Minecraft 1.8. So today I'm going to show you how that works, and yeah, I'm going to show it off. So I think it's pretty cool. Alright, so you can see my inventory. I have this compass called the warp compass, and it says shift plus right click to open GUI menu. So when I go over to that item and I shift right click, you'll see it opens up this GUI, and I'll have three different options. I'll have survival games, click to play survival games. I'll have creative mode, and I'll have make it rain. So yeah, I have these three options. And now let's say I want to go play some survival games. So if I just click on the sword, I'll be brought to survival games. Hey, or kind of survival games. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So now if I go and shift right click again, and now I want to change into creative mode, click on that, and my game will be switched to creative. So I'm just gonna walk around a bit to show that this works. It's portable. All right. Shift right click. And now let's do make it rain. And it started raining. Okay, yeah, that is pretty much how this works. So, you can probably tell this works with a horse inventory. So if I actually right click this instead of shift right clicking, I'll ride the horse for a few seconds, but then it'll die. And then I can just go right back to, and I can, uh, yeah, use the menu again. So that's pretty much how this works. And now I'm going to show you all the command blocks that are involved with this. So before I just show you, I'm just going to show you the different scoreboard objectives that are involved. There are 6 altogether. The 3 main ones are compass, riding, and horse. So the first one I'll talk about is compass. That's basically used to determine if you're selecting the warp compass. So you can see here, it sets the player's score of compass to 1 if they are selecting that warp compass. But if you're not selecting the compass, it's gonna have this default score of 0. So scoreboard objectives, set display sidebar, compass. So basically this just means that anytime that you're not holding this warp compass, it's just gonna have that compass score set to 0 rather. So yeah, you can see it's 1, now it's 0, now it's 1, now it's 0. Yeah. Alright, I'll come back to these two commands. Second one, horse. So now if you're holding the compass, it sets a player's score of horse to 1. So horse is used to actually summon the horse. So it sets it to 1 if you're holding that warp compass. And now if you have a score, if the player has a score of horse set to 1, it will summon the horse at them. Yeah. And then any player that is holding this compass and there's a horse by them, it just teleports the horse to them and teleports it a little higher, so it's at like the player's eye level, I think. So you can click anywhere and it'll open that inventory. So yeah, that's what these two commands are constantly running. Alright, next up, immediately after summoning that horse, the player's score of horse gets set to 2. This is to prevent more than one horse summoning at the player, so the horse will only summon if the player's score of horse is at 1. So it immediately gets set to 2, so it can't summon any more horses. Next, if the player's score of compass is at 0 and it's no longer holding the item, then it just kills the horse by teleporting it into the void. Bye-bye, horse. Yeah. So that just kills it. Next, the player's score of riding. Riding is used when you right-click the horse instead of shift right-clicking. So the player's score of riding will get set to 1 if you're actually riding the horse. But anytime you're not, the riding score is just going to be at 0. So then it will immediately kill that horse if you are riding it, and it will kill any items that are by you. So this is why no items drop. You might see them. There you didn't, but you might see them. But this is good because you can still have like game rule. Ooh, I think it's do entity drops and like do mob loot. So you can still have those. Like if you want to do this on a survival server, you can still have those game rules set to true. So mobs will still drop items, but you can also still have this contraption in your world. And the horse won't drop any of their items, so that's good. Next up, these just kind of reset the scores like back to 0 and stuff. But yeah, that's all of this redstone, and that's basically how the main component works. And the next one is actually detecting for the items that are in the horse and when you click on them. So you saw before I have 3 different objectives for this. I have item 1, item 2, and item 3. So the first item I have, this represents item 1, scoreboard objective. So if it sees that the horse named menu has a diamond sword in that slot in the horse, its item 1 score is set to 0. But otherwise it sets it to 1. So that means if that slot is empty, that means you picked up the item. So then your score of item 1 will actually get set to 1. So let me just demonstrate that. Oops, didn't mean to ride that. So I'm gonna pick this up, it's gonna be empty for a second. Change to 1, and then it killed and a new one was spawned. So yeah. You can see it changed to 1 for like half a second. Alright, now the other 3 command blocks, I'll just show them quickly. They execute when that score is at 1. So basically it just sets the player's score of horse back to 0 so that you can summon a new horse. This is the one that actually executes the command. So in this case it's just teleporting a player. And the other item, if I can find it, it's like game mode C. So this is the one that actually creates the command. And then the last one just kills that horse. So you can see it teleports it negative 500 blocks out. So with the item score of 1. So yeah, now I just repeat that for these other two items. And this could be well, you could have up to 15 items, right? Yeah, 15 items in here. So 15 warps. It's not infinite. It's not. You can't have. You can't have like. It's limited to 27 different items. And I don't like. You can only have 1 page of warps. Also, I didn't figure out a way to like make a second page. But yeah, those are the only kind of limitations. Yeah. Anyway, I think this is really cool. I'm gonna have a schematic if you want to download this and use it yourself. It is multiplayer compatible, so that can be used on servers. The only thing I'd be careful with is just, it's not really, I wouldn't recommend walking past another player if you both are holding the compass, because it could kill the other player's horse by accident, which isn't really a big problem. They just have to like switch back to the item again. The other thing is just that don't log off when riding the horse, because it'll leave it behind. So that's kind of the only big problem. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So once again, I'll have a schematic in the description, and you can use this yourself. One other quick thing, to create this summon command, I actually use Texel Elf's toSummon command filter. So I basically made the horse, I made the horse ahead of time, and I filled it with the items that I wanted. Then I ran the filter, and it turned the horse into a command. So that's how I actually created these colored names. So otherwise it's kind of confusing. So you don't actually have to make these colored names. It's not necessary. But if you want to, just put the like colored items in ahead of time, then run the command, and then when you want to place that summon command into your like contraption, you have to control middle click to pick it up, and then you can put the command block in. You can't actually copy it and paste it because then it actually loses its color. So that's just one thing to be careful about if you want to make these yourself. So before I end off this video, I just want to add a little disclaimer. So a few months ago, a YouTube Redstoner by the name of Redux Redstone actually created his own version of portable chest GUI commands. So I just want to add this disclaimer to say that I didn't copy him, and this is all my original thought and ideas. So, oh yeah, but I do still recommend that you go check out his version. I'll have a link in the description if you want to check that out. He actually makes really cool command block contraptions and stuff. I think he's actually working on a vanilla server right now. So definitely go check him out. And yeah, his version is slightly different from mine. But yeah. Anyway, besides that, thanks for watching. I think that's all. So I will have more videos coming up, and I'll see you soon. Bye.